Hello my dear Virgos out there, here's a reading for you, and it's a reading for the whole year 2020. I'm very happy to be here with you today. As you can see, the cards are already laid out because I was doing this reading in my native language first. So, right off the bat, I have to tell you it's very serious and it's very strong. And at first I thought it's gonna be only difficult and quite grim, because the first card that appears and that shows you this year is Eight of Swords. So there is restriction theme here. What you think is not what reality looks like. You really cannot see yourself in reality, in what it really looks like. Because you're blindfolded, because you may feel tied and without the possibility of movement, which probably isn't true with Eight of Swords. So you cannot assess your situation in the right way. That's how you appear, but it also asks you to leave that situation, to move beyond that restrictive mind of yours. There may be some old thoughts, old patterns, old stories around you that make it impossible for you to move, but once you realize these are only thoughts, these are only words, these are only old stories, you can really make progress and move out. The card accompanying this energy of yours, the major arcana card that I pulled, is number 11 in this deck, which is 8 in other decks, and it's called Strength or Power or Lust in some decks. But most of all, I feel power here. I think this is a year where you stand in your power, when you really recognize your true power, your true potential, and how much you can do, how much you can acquire, and to how many things you can say no, really. I think this year will make opportunities for you to detach from some old patterns that don't work for you anymore. Perhaps from people, groups of people, some communities that are not well enough for you, that don't feed you anymore, that are same old stuff, and you cannot learn anything more from them. Why do I say that? Let's see what's your theme. The Ghost Dance, the card from Mystical Shaman Oracle. What it says is that the ghost dance of the American Plains Indians united the spirits of the living with those of the ancestors to bring peace to the world. When the ancestors are honored, they bring harmony to us. When we hold them responsible for all that is wrong with us today, they haunt us. Honor the spirits of the ancestors and receive their lessons and gifts. This includes honoring your own past lives. The ancestors have a message of healing and a powerful medicine to offer you. Create a sacred moment at your altar, light a candle to them, and let their wisdom infuse you. At this stage in your life, you are done repeating their tragic stories. So there is this moving out of the vicious circle theme here. Step into the abundance that is offered to you. Receive the gifts of those that have come before you and write a new story for your life. Because truly you are responsible for your life. Only you. Nobody else. And this is also mentioned here in the third part of the description that is called the medicine. If you are trapped in a vicious circle of nostalgia, mourning, a lost youth, or opportunities missed, it is time to make an altar for the ancestors. Collect a few photos, light some incense, offer sage, and open the windows of your house to release them to their destiny and to the wind. Be wary of being snared in a relationship with someone from a past lifetime, as the people we loved or hurt have a way of reappearing in our lives. There is no learning for you there anymore, and this is very, very important message. There is no learning from some people and some situations for you anymore. That's why you need to detach. Together with this card, I pulled one tarot card, and this is 8 of Earth, which is 8 of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. This is your card. It talks about getting better and better in something, everyday work that really pushes us towards being a master in something. But it's also very much an everyday card. And together with this card, I think it speaks about the lessons that you have learned, and that there is this learning curve. At the beginning, you gain much new knowledge, new skills as you learn in time. But after some time, this learning curve gets quite flat. So you give more and more time and attention to something, but it doesn't really translate into new skills, into new knowledge. And I think that's the point in your life when you realize that something is kind of empty, kind of squeezed out of any essential life juice. And this is a good time to really leave it behind. And you will find in yourself power and light and wisdom to do that, even if you are very much attached to the situation, even if this is something like a sacred union in your life. Even then, you will be able to do that. First, let's have a look at the sketch of this year, like a short snap, short quick film, a photo of a kind. The cards that you have: 10 of Water, which is 10 of Cups, the Hierophant, number 5 Major Arcana, number 9 Major Arcana, the Hermit, which is also your card, and 9 of Air, which is 9 of Swords. So we have 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. We have 2 9s. We also have a 10, right? So there is ending to something. Probably with these 2 cards, this ending is connected with your family, perhaps with your marriage. Anything that is really serious, done in a precise manner, also recognized by society, by law, by government. So any kinds of unions, legal unions, legal agreements are involved here. Some kind of authority, perhaps. And this cycle comes to an end. 10 of Water is an energy, a nice energy of resolution. And it definitely is about your feelings, your emotions, your relationships, because water is about cups, so it's about emotions. So something ends, something that was really perhaps even sacred, or something that was blessed in a way by a hierarchy, by something higher than you. And then you have 2 9s, your card, the Hermit, which speaks about some kind of seclusion, being alone, but also finding your own way, finding your own light, looking for answers within yourself. This is sacred moss here, and the light within you can see. So perhaps there's a good time this year to really move out from some situations that ended naturally, to detach yourself from them and focus focus on yourself, on your own truth, on your own light. I think some quite difficult truth will come to your attention, to your mind. 9 of Air, we have a pomegranate here, which is the fruit of mystery, very much connected with blood. So there may be something very profound and quite painful revealed to you. And it makes you think. It makes you think on a very high level. 9 is accumulation of the power, accumulation of the mind in this case, because air is mind. So it may be a stressful situation for you. There may be a stressful situation connected with your family, with something that is bound by authority. And I feel you kind of oppose it this year. And that may cause pain, suffering, anxiety, sleepless nights. But you will cope with it. I'm sure you will, because I know the rest of the reading. It's very empowering. And it's usually in the time of trouble, in the time of stress, in the time of anxiety, when we grow. We usually don't grow when everything is fine. We grow when we have something difficult to do, when we have some kind of obstacle on our way, when there are things to overcome appearing in our lives. The challenges. The most important thing this year, the most important lesson is King of Swords. And I think it's you making decisions. Making decisions that are really difficult, hard, requiring courage and clear thinking. And together we have, together with that, we have 3 of Cups. So I think these decisions that are made by you, that are the result of deep thinking, consider people, groups of people, communities. For some of you, there may be a third-person situation in your private life, when you have, when there is you, your partner, and someone else. But you have your sword here, and you will really resolve this way or another. You may use this sword on someone, like cut someone off, or cut yourself off from the third-party situation. But most definitely, this is about relationships. These decisions are about relationships. The challenge here is 5 of Pentacles. No surprise. Lack, feeling left out in the cold, or feeling abandoned, or perhaps banished from somewhere. You gotta move out from somewhere. You have to go somewhere, even if it's cold outside. You are devoid of warmth and abundance, or you see yourself this way. 5 of Pentacles, interestingly, is also a card of toxic love, toxic relationships that keep us in a place where we don't want to be, really, because no one wants to be in 5 of Pentacles energy for a long time. This is a great energy to turn things around. This is a great turning point, but you don't want to be here for a long time. But many people do. Many people are, because they feel they cannot move from this place. They cannot leave this place. You can. Most definitely you can. So the challenge is to withstand the situation and to really feel your own power. 8, another 8. This time it's the same 8 that we had there as 11. So that's strength. The challenge is to find your own strength to move from the situation, to withstand what is happening here and go on in more nurturing and healthy way. And I don't think it's about violence and turning things around violently. It's about unity of mind and soul and heart. It's about being concise and coherent. It's about standing in your truth and not giving it up, no matter what happens. So what to do with this quite demanding situation? The Tower. Destroy whatever needs to be destroyed. Crush your prison. If something is holding you in place, don't be afraid to kick it, to thrash it. This is a great time to liberate yourself from unhealthy situation. And yes, it's gonna be difficult. And yes, it will require strength. But the cards are very, very clear and precise. You need to leave. You need to leave this situation. You really need to destroy something in order to build something new. Only when this is torn apart, only if this is in ruins, then you are able to build something new. And whether it's with the same person or with another person, whether it's the same place or another place, it doesn't really matter. There are many possible scenarios here. But it's important not to be stuck in this place. You don't want it. What's your strength? What's your power? Well, no surprise, it's you, the Hermit. So, again, finding inner light, finding answers within, because that's where they are, really. You don't need to look for answers outside yourself. Try to give yourself time and space to look for and to find answers within you. Trust yourself in this. It's a beautiful card asking you to stand in your power, to really be yourself. And this, if you let this happen, this will bring you change. Change that you can predict, a change that you can plan, because this is the change that you may expect, like changing of the seasons of the year. And this change puts you in a better place. If you let yourself be guided by yourself, by your inner light, by your inner wisdom. So beautiful promise here. Look at this. And if you do that, I feel also you are unstoppable, because this is the wheel of the universe. No one can stop it. If you act in accordance with it, you are unstoppable. Virgo. I forgot to show you two more cards from the upper row. The first one is your guide. And you have Broken Arrow, which says, embrace the energy of peace. I think this is the result of finding your inner power. Usually we are afraid and we need to be guarded when we don't feel safe, when we don't feel strong enough. When we feel strong and in place and safe, we don't need to defend ourselves. Listen to this. Let go of the need to defend yourself and prepare to offer peace. You are safe. So I think you feel strong enough to feel safe finally. If you have been exposed to a situation in which you have felt the need to protect yourself or defend what you feel is right, know that this is now coming to an end. With the arrival of the Broken Arrow card, you are being guided to know that the energies of light are entering to wash away all the darkness. You can drop your shields and protection. You are now in a situation that will honor you and honor your needs. Arguments are ending, and disagreements are being resolved. Prepare to talk things through and offer the peace that you would like to enjoy. In order to move forward in a more fearless way, it's important for you to let go of the idea that you can be hurt by this situation or the people involved, because this will only work against you. Know that your angelic guides and ancestors are standing around you, protecting you and talking you lovingly forward. So, I think, Virgo, that you are stronger than you think, stronger than you may know about. And yet another card from Shamanic Healing Oracle. It's what heals you this year. And you have discernment. What a beautiful card with this serious reading. Serious and very sober reading. Discernment. As spiritual, physical and energetic beings, we oftentimes blur the lines between our energy, the energy of a situation, and the energy of another person. When we take on other people's energy and label it as our own, we start to judge. This lowers our energetic vibrations. We then get caught up in a seemingly never-ending cycle of feeling bad, labeling, justifying, and appropriating what is not ours to claim. The lesson here, as in the previous card, which is, let's see, psychic development. Okay. So the lesson here is to be present, not label or judge, and let the energy or feeling wash through you. Once you do this, notice where in your body you feel the effects of the emotion. Does your heart open up? Does your belly hurt? Does your throat get tight? Your head can lie to you, but your body never does. It's easy to become overwhelmed. Make a habit of making your first response to overwhelming energy, "Wow, that's interesting," instead of, "What's wrong with me?" This allows you to objectively discover how and why your body is reacting to the given situation or person. This card is asking you to stop looking outside yourself for answers to an issue. Instead, sit with it and listen to what your body is telling you. So, this reappearing hermit of yours in the reading also speaks about your body and being in the body and listening to the body, and most of all, listening to answers from within. You don't need to look for answers outside of you. You already know. And this is what the next couple of cards are saying. This position speaks about what to do, what not to do. What to do, the High Priestess. No. Don't talk too much, because you already know. See the world from the upper position. To show the spectrum of what to do, what not to do, I like to look at both cards at once. And what not to do, what is not recommended. 5 of Wands. Well, don't argue. Don't lower yourself to this. These are petty arguments. You're far above it. You know. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to put yourself in those situations. It's pointless. So if someone asks you, okay, well, tell me why, or tell me how did you come to this conclusion? You don't need to tell them. You don't have to. You're not obliged to enter any kind of petty arguments, quarrels, little fights, all those stupid remarks that people do. You don't have to, because you already know, and you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Remember about this. This is very strong. As for the seasons of the year, first in winter we have Emperor. This is a structurizing energy that wants to create order in environment. This is also very masculine and active force. So this is the vibe of the season. There may be someone, a male, in your environment that acts like that, but it also can be your energy. Most definitely it's good time to make boundaries and create safe space within. A space where you are responsible for your life. And we have Three of Pentacles as what to do with this energy. Well, use it in an effective way. Three of Pentacles is Mars and Capricorn. Mars loves to be in Capricorn because it's very effective there. It can work through difficult things in a planned, peaceful manner. So just do your work. And do it with passion and compassion. Okay. In the spring, we have the Hierophant, so this card reappears here. It was present here. And this particular Hierophant is very oppressive. It's also another masculine figure. So in the first half of the year, you may feel very much in contact and perhaps oppressed by masculinity, by patriarchy, because this card may also represent patriarchy, any kinds of institutions, any kinds of hierarchical institutions. It may be in work, it may be in your family. It may be anything imposed on you by law, something enforced, I think. So that's the vibe. What to do with it? Well, use another powerful energy. I feel there's this interesting juxtaposition between those two personas. The Empress is a loving person. This one isn't loving. Look at this, what he's having in his hand, the whip. She doesn't use a whip to make them do what she wants them to do. She's compassionate and full of unconditional love. She's the mistress of life. She's giving life. She's protecting life. She doesn't need to beat anyone. She doesn't have her holy book. She's sufficient. She is quite enough. She doesn't need anything more. So oppose this oppressive energy with quite a different energy of the Empress. This is masculine, this is feminine. What is interesting here is that I feel that this part of equation underestimate this part. He thinks she's not an equal to him. He's wrong. And he will be sorely mistaken. And he will feel the repercussions of this mistake. He may be very, very surprised when she opposes, because he thinks she is only sweet and mild and soft. But there is power in this softness. There is power in this mildness, and there is power in kindness. Sorry for the noise. This card turns the volume up. It switches the alarm on for several days now. I really don't know what to do with it. Oh, okay, it ended. So there may be this moment of surprise here for the oppressive force in your life when you turn up against it and you use your true inner power, which is more feminine and delicate, but still It's very powerful. Then, in summer, surprise, surprise, we have the Hermit. So, this is the time of the year when you stand in your power. This is also when you have your birthday. So rather towards the end of the year, you find your answers. You find your keys to the situation. And I think here is when you decide to change the course of your life, to really move out of the unhealthy situation into something more nurturing in the long term. I think it's well thought, it's planned. It may feel desperate for some people, but not for you. You know what you're doing, even if it poses some kind of difficulty. This is the challenge that you had, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, there is a challenge. Especially if you are in a situation when you are somehow addicted to this oppressive power, the Hierophant. For example, if you are economically connected with person, with work that is oppressive, with community, with a family that is oppressive. There are many women in this situation. Very often in their marriages, they are dependent on their husbands economically. So there may be, when you decide to move out from this situation, there may be a time when you feel kind of lost, in lack of something, of abundance. When you feel alone and cold and abandoned. But this will pass, especially if this is the result of your own will. This is what your heart is telling you. This is what your inner light is telling you. That you need to go through this in order to change the course in the long term. And to really take care of yourself. And then what is happening in autumn is quite awesome. We have Ace of Swords, which is the vibe here. So definitely a new beginning, and a fiery one. Not only an idea of what I want to do, but also the will, the power to do that. The spark, the fire is present here. So whatever you decided in summer, now you do that. And you take no prisoners, is what I feel. You are unstoppable. This is serious, really. And some people may be very, very surprised by this. They may... I had this feeling before that someone has underestimated you. But now you're showing your claws. And you're going to use them if they're necessary. What to do with it? Well, justice, another sword. So quite a sharp period of the year. You create balance. You achieve new balance. If anything needs to be done in the court, you do that. If things need to be resolved with law, with the court, you are determined to do that. It doesn't have to be this way still. It just can mean that you do whatever is necessary in order to cut yourself from something and to start something new. And whatever you're doing will have great repercussions in your future life. This is a very serious card. It speaks about long-term results, long-term changes, life changes. It changes your karma. Justice changes your karma. So that's it. And it feels great. It feels very powerful. It feels very serious. As for some more precise parts of your life, themes in your life, first we have work, career, money. I feel something that was disappointing ends, and you have energy for a new beginning, and you put yourself in a situation where you can just work in a stable way and do what you do best, and you learn something, and you get better and better in something, and I think it creates quite a safe place materially for you. Maybe it's not, Nine of Pentacles where you are totally abundant, but Eight of Pentacles is good enough to maintain life. So I think it's quite okay, especially that this period of still water of disappointment is ended here. In your love life, love, relationships, emotions, etc., etc., I had these cards. Two of Rods, Two of Swords, Queen of Cups. Very, very undecisive energy. Like you're standing on a crossroads and you're not really able to make any decision. Perhaps because you feel it's gonna be against the way you see unconditional love, probably. Or you, again, feel dependent on someone. Perhaps someone depends on you and you feel bounded and you cannot really move from one place. That is not really good for you, I think. Because you wouldn't be thinking so much and trying to feel what's the answer, and you wouldn't have all those cards if it wasn't the situation that you need to move from. So I pulled additional card and I have Ace of Swords. So I think the decision will come eventually to you, rather towards the end of the year, because Ace of Swords appeared in autumn, so it's October, November, December, and at the ending of the year, when you make a decision, if you need to move out from a situation, especially emotional situation in your life. It's going to happen after a time of many thoughts and difficult waiting, and probably you will hope that the thing will resolve itself, but it won't. Your decision is needed here. As for your spiritual life, it looks very promising. It looks great, to tell the truth. Ace of Swords, the Star, and Knight of Pentacles, another card of Virgo present here. So I think you find your own way this year. As far as your spiritual life is concerned, you find your place. You finally know what is your gift to the universe. What should you do? You have a new idea about yourself. New idea what to do with your life. New idea how to create a better world. How to cooperate with the world, with the universe. How to co-create the better place for all of us. And you do it in your own way. And you sow the first seeds of new order in your life. This card appeared reversed. I think it's because, as I told you before, some people may not recognize you. They may be very surprised by the way you act this year, by your decisiveness, by your determination. But the most important thing is that you know it's you. You recognize yourself. You know it's finally me speaking, doing things. You're guided by the cosmic light, by the universe. And you have this brilliant mind of yours that is guiding you too, in accordance with this cosmic universal light that shows you the way, that shows you how to share what's best in you with the whole world. So these final 3 cards made me really smile when I saw them and when I understood what they are saying. I think overall it's a great year for you. I won't say it's going to be easy. I don't think so. There are many challenges here, but I feel that you grow very much because of them, and you really find your inner strength and who you are and your inner light, and you let it guide you, and that's why you are successful in the end. You know better, remember that. And you are stronger and bigger and greater person than you think. And you're gonna experience it this year, I think. So, Virgo, I wish you a very happy, successful, fulfilling, healthy new year. All the best for you. Thank you very much for your time and attention. See you in next readings. Bye bye.